When my mother started to care for people in our home, there really weren't many nursing homes or aged care facilities. Back in the 60s and 70s, a lot of nursing homes were converted from larger homes. My mother was a trained nurse. She was very much about the care of the resident. That was paramount. She was a very kind and generous person. She'd actually give away her shirt or last dollar to someone in need. In the early 1960s, she was approached to manage a small nursing home. I think it was a 17-bed facility in Hawthorn. We actually went and lived on site. We lived upstairs at that facility, and then an opportunity came to start their own facility in Canterbury. And they then bought a house behind that adjoined it, and that's where we lived, and we had a little bit of input, I suppose. We would maybe, carry a tray or do something to assist, but that was just the norm for my older sister and myself. But the values that I've inherited from my mum were that it's all about the care of the resident, to treat people as you'd like to be treated yourself, to be honest with people, but not to suffer fools gladly either. They had one or two other facilities at various times during the 40 or 50 years, but Canterbury was sort of her love, and she continued to operate that up until effectively the end of 2002, when she got Alzheimer's. Obviously, I'd realised prior to then that Canterbury as a 30-bed facility wasn't really viable. I was then able to find a site in Kew in Jellybrand Street that had been the residence of the Catholic Archbishop, which adjoined Alexandra Gardens, which are the premier heritage gardens in the city of Boroondara. The facility at Phillip Island is a bit different. We've tried to bring in a bit of a more Mediterranean type influence there. We have arched windows and higher ceilings, and Banfield's is quite an impressive facility. If it was in Melbourne, I'm sure it'd be held in pretty high regard. We try and build facilities that we'd be happy to reside in, and I think that's probably been borne out by the type of residents we get there. We get people who are more accustomed to comfort and are happy to spend their money to ensure that their final years they can continue to live in the manner to which they've become accustomed through their own hard work. We do have a motto which is exceptional care built on solid foundations, which I think epitomises exactly what we do. I suppose we're pretty fortunate to have that generational care. A lot of aged care providers don't have it. As far as I'm concerned, it still is all about the care. It's great to be able to provide state-of-the-art facilities and what have you, but if you can't provide the care at the same time, you're not doing the right thing. And one of my favourite sayings, I've got a bit of a rural background as well, is that a farm's best fertiliser are the owner's footsteps, and I think that applies very much in aged care.